Good morning. Today is Tuesday, AA Day. If I don't sound so enthused, there's a reason why. I'll explain some of it a little while later. So today we are reading the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. I put all the information on in the description, the page number, the book, the step, the tradition, or the story. And please do not pass judgment here. This is a no judgment area and part of my channel. So please refrain from doing that and don't harass people. Just because they're in the chat doesn't mean that they are the alcoholic. They might be my support system. They might be friends of mine and just want to learn some things to help them with a family member or a friend as well. So, I'm going to go ahead and say the Serenity Prayer and get started with the meeting. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. In case if you're wondering, in the 12 traditions or 12 steps and 12 traditions book, you can find all your steps in the front of the book and traditions as well. 1. Sorry, let me restart. I'm Sandra and I'm an alcoholic. 1. We admitted we are powerless over alcohol, that our lives have become unmanageable. 2. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3. Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. Okay, thank you, Will. 4. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5. Admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6. We're entirely ready to have God remove all these defective characters. 7. Humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings. 8. Made a list of all persons we had harmed and become willing to make amends to them all. 9. Made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10. Continue to take personal inventory of ourselves and when wrong, promptly admit it. 11. Sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. Hello, Roy and Becky. Thank you for coming. Misha, thank you for coming. Tradition 1. Our common welfare should come first. Personal recovery depends upon AA unity. Hold on a second. I'm roasting. I'm sitting right in front of the heater, so I gotta take this sweater off. Oh. Don't worry, I have a shirt on. Oh. 2. For our group purpose, there is but one ultimate authority, a loving God as He may express Himself in our group conscience. Our leaders are but trusted servants, they do not govern. 3. The only requirement for AA membership is a desire to stop drinking. 4. Each group should be autonomous except in matters affecting other groups or AA as a whole. 5. Each group has but one primary purpose: to carry its message to the alcoholic who still suffers. 6. An AA group ought never endorse, finance, or lend the AA name to any related facility or outside enterprise lest problems of money, property, and prestige divert us from our primary purpose. 7. Every AA group ought to be self-supporting, declining outside contributions. 8. Alcoholics Anonymous should remain forever non-professional, but our service centers may employ special workers. 9. AA as such ought never be organized, but we may create service boards or committees directly responsible to those they serve. 10. Alcoholics Anonymous has no opinion on outside issues, hence the AA name ought never be drawn into public controversy. 11. Our primary relation policy is based on attraction rather than promotion. We need always maintain personal anonymity at the level of press, radio, and films. 12. Anonymity is the spiritual foundations of all our traditions, ever reminding us to place principles before personalities. I always get the last couple on that one mixed up. So we're on tradition 6. An AA group ought never endorse, finance, or lend the AA name to any related facility or outside enterprise, lest problems of money, property, and prestige divert us from our primary purpose. The moment we saw that we had an answer for alcoholism, it was reasonable, or so it seemed at the time, for us to feel that we might have the answer to a lot of other things. The AA group many thought could go into business, might finance any enterprise, whatever in the total field of alcoholism. In fact, we felt duty-bound to throw the whole weight of the AA name behind any meretricious cause. Sorry, I know I'm not saying that word right. Here are some of the things we dreamed. Hospitals didn't like alcoholics, so we thought we'd build a hospital chain of our own. People needed to be told what alcoholism was, so we'd educate the public, even rewrite school and medical textbooks. We'd gather up derelict from skid rows, sort out those who could get well, and make it possible for the rest to earn their livelihood in a kind of quarantine confinement. Maybe these places would make large sums of money to carry on our other good work. We seriously thought of rewriting the laws of the land and having to declare that alcoholics are sick people. No more would they be jailed. Judges would parole them in our custody. We'd spill AA into the dark regions of dope addiction and criminality. We'd form groups of depressive and paranoid folks. The deeper the neurosis, the better we'd liked it. It stood to reason that if alcoholism could be licked, so could any problem. Hello, PSB. It occurs to us that we could take what we have had into factories and cause laborers and capitalism to love each other. Our uncompromising honesty might soon clean up politics. With one arm around the shoulder of religion and the other around the shoulder of medicine, we'd solve their differences. Having learned to live so happily, we'd show everybody else how. Why we thought our Society of Alcoholics Anonymous might prove to be the spearhead of a new spiritual advance. We might transform the world. Yes, we of AA did dream of those dreams. How natural that was. Since most alcoholics are bankrupt idealists, nearly every one of us had wished to do great good, perform great deeds, and embody great ideals. We are all perfectionists who, failing perfection, have gone to the other extreme and settled for the bottle and the blackout. Providence through AA had brought us within reach of our highest expectations. So why shouldn't we share our way of life with everyone? Whereupon we tried AA. Hospitals, they all bogged down because you cannot put an AA group into business. Too many busybody cooks spoil the broth. AA groups had their fling at education, and when they began to publicly whoop up the merits of this or that brand, people became confused. Did AA fix drunks, or was it an educational project? Was AA spiritual, or was it medical? Was it a reformment in consternation? We saw ourselves getting married to all kinds of enterprises, some good and some not so good. Watching alcoholics committed willy-nilly to prison or asylums, we began to cry. There ought to be a law. AA commenced to thump tables in legislative committee rooms and agitate for legal reform. That made good newspaper copy, but little else. We saw we'd soon be mirrored in politics. Even inside AA, we found it imperative to remove the AA name from clubs and 12-step houses. These adventures implanted a deep-rooted conviction that in no circumstances could we endorse any related enterprise, no matter how good. Get out of there. Go lay down. Sorry, Copper needed my attention for a second. Lay down. Now. No, go lay down. Go lay down. We of Alcoholics Anonymous could not be all things to all men, nor should we try. Years ago, this principle of no endorsement was put to a vital test. Some of the great distilling companies propose to go into the field of alcohol education. It would be a good thing, they believe, for the liquor trade to show a sense of public responsibility. They wanted to say that liquor should be enjoyed, not misused. Hard drinkers ought to slow down, and problem drinkers, alcoholics, should not drink at all. In one of their trade associates, the question arose of just how this campaign should be handled. Of course, they would use the resources of radio, press, and films to make their point. But what kind of person should head the job? They immediately thought of Alcoholics Anonymous. If they could find a good public relation man in our ranks, why wouldn't he be ideal? He'd certainly know the problem. His connection with AA would be valuable because the fellowship stood high in public favor and hadn't an enemy in the world. Soon they spotted their man, and AA, with the necessary experience, straight away he appeared at New York's AA headquarters asking, "Is there anything in our tradition that suggests I shouldn't take a job like this one?" The kind of education seemed good to me and is not too controversial. Do you headquarter folks see any bugs in it? At first glance, it did look like a good thing. Then doubt crept in. The association wanted to use our members' full name in all its advertising. He was to be described both as its director of publicity and as a member of Alcoholics Anonymous. Of course, there couldn't be the slightest objection in such an association hired an AA member solely because of his public relations ability and his knowledge of alcoholism. But that wasn't the whole story. For in this case, not only was an AA member to break his anonymity at a public level, he was to link his name, Alcoholics Anonymous, to this particular educational project in the minds of millions. It would be bound to appear that AA was now backing education, liquor trade association style. The minute we saw this compromising fact for what it was, we asked the prospective publicity director how he felt about it. "Great guns," he said. "Of course I can't take the job. The ink wouldn't be dry on the first ad before an awful shriek would go up from a dry camp. They'd be out with lanterns looking for an honest AA to plump for their brand of education. AA would land exactly in the middle of the wet-dry controversy. Half the people in the country would think we'd signed up with the dries. The other half would think we'd joined the wets. What a mess." Nevertheless, we pointed out, you still have a legal right to take this job. "I know that," he said, "but this is no time for legalities. Alcoholics Anonymous saved my life, and it comes first. I certainly won't be the guy to land AA in big-time trouble and this would really do it. Concerning endorsements, our friend had said it all. We saw as never before that we could not lend the AA name to any cause other than our own. And AA is being traded to me as my own. Now, I didn't start my AA because I know it all about it. I didn't start it to earn money from doing it. That's not my purpose. My purpose for doing this is helping the alcoholic who still suffers and other alcoholics who have found their sobriety. Maybe it's their first 24 hours. Maybe it's their 10th or 30th year of sobriety. Whichever it is. My place of doing AA meetings here on YouTube and Facebook is, I'm doing it the way I chose to do it. And the reason I chose to do it this way is because I'm a shy person. And so for me, telling my story, it's so much easier to tell it here than what it is in person. Now, I do, however, tell people that yes, I'm a recovering alcoholic. I will forever be a recovering alcoholic. At least as long as I keep working my program the way it works for me. I don't follow the books. I don't read my books every day. I don't pray every single day. I do me how I feel it works for me. And that is doing this right here, what I'm doing right now, helps me so much more than people think. Sure, I'm sitting here talking to a computer and a phone, but I'm still talking to all of you about getting sober and how I've made it work for me. And sharing that has become a sole purpose for me. I never thought that I would go to AA and actually find that it helps and that it works. And the only way it works is if you work your own steps. Nobody else can do it for you. And the same as you have to want it for you. Not for someone else, but for you. That's what I had learned. You know, I can't go and change someone else, no matter how badly I want to. I tried to get my sister to go to AA for months and months and months. And my sponsor looked at me and said, "You can't keep harassing her to go to a meeting." And she told me to read a certain page in the book, in the big book. And I did that. And that's when I realized she was right, and I needed to stop begging my sister to come to AA. Not long after I stopped bugging her to come to AA, she came to a meeting. I was so surprised, and I was so happy. My best friend was in the meeting with me, and we were going to do this together. Sure, I have 8 months longer than her, but you know what? We're both sober. And how long you've got? It's just a number. It's something to be very proud of, but it's just a number. And as we go through the years, it gets easier and easier to keep going, because people do end up falling off the wagon. And, sometimes they pick it up and they come back to AA. And we always welcome you back, no matter what. And that's what I find the best part is no matter what, AA will accept you for who you are. We will help you get through those days and those hard times of sobriety because the beginning is not easy. It is by no means an easy thing to do. But we can pray for those that have not made it through a meeting and have not made that step in full of being sober and staying sober. But, we can only suggest. We can't make somebody get help. We can pray for them. And I know there's somebody I'm praying for right now. Well, more than one person, actually. But I pray that they find that they are worth every single day. They are worth being here. And they're not alone. They're never alone. My helper just came over here. He knows I'm crying. I pray that they find the help and that they get out before it's too late. Thank you, Roy and Becky. Please check out Roy and Becky Travels. They're great friends of mine. Thank you, Ivan. But like I said, right now, all I can do is pray that they find their way to the best gift that me and my sister got. And that they can find their happiness. And find that they have a voice to say their problems, to talk to someone who will listen and not judge them. That's all anybody wants. My sister had a rough night last night, and it's just family stuff. But when it's family stuff, it's hard for everyone because you want to help them, but you can't force them. And that's a very hard part because you can't force them to do it. As much as you want to, you can't. So just keep those family members. I'm sure that we're not the only ones with family members that have the same problem. Keep all of those in your prayers. And pray that they get out before it's too late. I work my shift every single day, and that's the only reason I know it works. And this is my choice. This is something that I chose to do good for myself and to become a better person than I was when I was drunk. The drunk me was not nice. I was mean. I'd get so drunk that I'd say things that weren't true. I didn't care whose feelings I hurt, or who I called the night before, or what I said to them. I didn't care about any of that. All I cared about was getting that drink. And for a few years, that's what I did. And watching a friend or a family member go through the same thing is not fun at all. Because that's all I can do is watch them. Watch them because I can't tell them what to do. I can't force them to go get help. I can't force them to talk to me about it. I can't afford to go, way out of my way to go and help personally, even though I want to. I totally would, but I can't. And they know I do these on YouTube and Facebook, and they just need to come to one and listen with open mind and actually listen and do the work. You're worth it. It's hard, but you're worth it. You're worth every single day that you're here breathing. You're worth the memories. You're worth the friendship. You're worth everything to someone. And they're sitting there watching you go through what you're going through. And they know that they can't stop you. And it hurts. It hurts a lot. Anyway, it's been a hard morning, and keep those ones that you love in your mind. Say prayers for them. Make sure they know that you love them, no matter what. And give them time. Don't turn your back on them. Hello, Crystal. Anyway, I think I'm gonna end the live. I will in a little while. I'll call you in a little while. I'm gonna go ahead and put in the go ahead and do the Serenity Prayer for Facebook, and I will post the daily reflection on my wall, and I will read it to you guys. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Keep coming back. It works if you work it. Love you guys. I'm going to go ahead and read the daily reflection to you guys here. Get out of Facebook. Alright, let's go to here. Okay. March 26th. The teaching is never over. Okay, this one's over. Abandon yourself to God as you understand God. Admit your faults to Him and to your fellows. Clear away the wreckage of your past. Give freely of what you find and join us. We shall be with you in the fellowship of the Spirit, and you will surely meet some of us as you trudge the road of happy destiny. May God bless you and keep you until then. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 164. These words put a lump in my throat each time I read them. In the beginning, it was because I felt, oh no, the teaching is over. It will never be this new again. Today, I feel deep affection for our AA pioneers when I read this passage, realizing that it summed up all of what I believe in and strive for, and that, with God's blessing, the teaching is never over. I'm never on my own, and every day is brand new. Every day is brand new. That's the truth. So, I thank you all for coming to the meeting, and I will see you tomorrow. I think I might go at 11. I do just a chat on Tuesdays. So, please feel free to stop by there if you like my content on my adventures, or even if you like the AA meetings. Please hit the like button, subscribe button. You don't have to leave comments if you don't feel safe to do that. I completely understand. And I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Be safe. Be kind.